Good morning, everyone. It's Robert from On My Turntable. Hope you're having a great morning this morning. Saturday morning, as always, a coffee kind of morning. I wanted to continue my Albums to Discover series through Discog Shuffle. Really having a great time with this. Rediscovering all kinds of new bands or bands that I haven't heard of in a long time, and albums that I haven't heard in a long time as well. And that's the idea of this, is to show you guys some great bands and artists that I have in my collection, to talk about them, to help you maybe discover them if you don't know them already. And it's a fun way to do it. And I never know until the end of every video what I'm going to be talking about next. Then I take a day or so to review it and look into the album and hopefully show you guys some interesting facts about these albums. So last time we did the shuffle, it was on this album here. Great album, Hotel California by the Eagles, or Eagles. Now normally the album itself would have an inner sleeve showing the band members inside, or the photos of the band members. Obviously the box set doesn't do that. And I thought I had the vinyl, but obviously I don't. So I'll talk about that one just a second. I'll talk a bit about the band first before I do, as I drop my notes. Yay for me. So the Eagles, American rock band formed in 1971. They had 5 #1 singles, 6 #1 albums, 6 Grammys, 5 American Music Awards. Definitely one of the most successful bands of the 1970s in North America, for sure. These guys, multi-talented. Every member sang in the group in the beginning, and everyone had a different style, different musical taste. So that gave that variety of sound that they were looking for. The founding members were Glenn Frey, Don Henley, Randy Meisner, and Bernie Laden. Glenn Frey, guitars, vocals, Don Henley, drums and vocals, Randy Meisner, bass and vocals, and Bernie Laden, multi-instrumentalist. Bernie Laden, guitar, banjo, all kinds of instruments, and he also did vocals as well. He put a bit of a country edge to the band as well, because he was into that style of music. I've got one of his albums, and great player for sure. Again, they created a combination of rock and country rock, folk, southern rock, pop, all over the map. And they started out actually as the backup band for Linda Ronstadt, and touring with her, and also playing on her 3rd album as the band, before they went on to become their own. So they also affiliated with Jackson Browne, J.D. Souther, all kinds of affiliations they had with super great artists, for sure. So their debut album, this one here, and this is off of this box set, The Eagles, the studio albums, 1972 to 1979. If you want to know about the Eagles and have a great start to the Eagles, this is a good box set to have. Sounds really good. Wasn't that expensive, but it gives you all their studio albums. So this one here, this is released in 1972. Had 2 top 20 singles, Take It Easy and Witchy Woman. I love that track, Witchy Woman. It's still one of my favorite Eagles tracks. It's hard to describe what sound it is, but it's just that cool, almost a bluesy rhythm to it, but it's a cool track. Then we have 1973's Desperado. Desperado would become almost a concept album. a Western-themed album about the Old West. Not as popular as their first album, only peaked at number 41, but the single Desperado itself became a popular track, both on radio and in their concerts. It was the only album where the band members appeared on the cover as well. Really only studio album that you see with all the band members. You see them inside the inner covers and on the back, but not on the front. Then you have 74's On the Border. So these guys were pumping out albums once a year as well. And great. This is a great album as well, On the Border. Some great tracks on this one. Again, these are all on Asylum. So On the Border, Don Felder had joined the group, giving that extra guitar. Great guitarist on his own. I've got a solo album of his, or a couple of solo albums. I wouldn't say he's got the best vocals, but he does a decent job. But his guitar playing is he's so professional, so I don't know, I don't want to say perfect, but it's so precise. His guitar playing, his solos are amazing. Again, just a remarkable guitarist. So he joined the group, and big hit off of this one is Already Gone. Hit the top 40, and the first #1 hit as well. And Best of My Love, another ballad type of song, also a big hit for the band off of this album. So great album. I love James Dean. Again, The Best of My Love, My Man, Midnight Fever, and you know, you've got lead vocals, Randy Meisner on Midnight Flyer. Randy Meisner had such a great voice as well. He just, I don't know, after a while just didn't gel with the rest of the band members, and was eventually asked to leave the band as well. But he was a great performer. Not really sure what happened to him, but that's another story for another day. And then we have 1975, On the Border. I have this on vinyl as well. It's also on the Asylum label. It'd be the last album to feature Bernie Laden, as he, again, wanted to continue on with the country style in their music. Don Henley wanted a harder edge to their music, so Bernie Laden's out, Joe Walsh joins. Who figures? You know Joe Walsh from the James King, from his own solo albums. Wild Man doesn't really fit the theme of the Eagles, but somehow fits, and somehow gives the Eagles that harder edge that they need. Because again, on his own, amazing guitarist, amazing vocalist, amazing songwriter. So Bernie Laden, as amazing as he was, is out, and Joe Walsh is in. So it would be the last album to feature Bernie Laden here. But again, the photo on the back cover of the band, but not on the front cover. And I'll talk about Hotel California second. Then we have probably one of the most successful albums ever, especially greatest hits albums. This is the Eagles' greatest hits from 71 to 75. I mean, again, if you want to know the Eagles, the early Eagles, this is the way to go. So you got Take It Easy, Witchy Woman, Lion Eyes, Already Gone, Desperado, One of These Nights, Tequila Sunrise, Take It to the Limit, Peaceful Easy Feeling, and Best of My Love. Just hit after hit after hit. This is on a black Asylum. Sorry, it's on upside down. This is on the Black Asylum label as well. A little different from the other Asylums. But greatest hits album. Again, one of the best-selling albums ever. It sold over 38 million copies in its day in the U.S. and it was released in '76. So Randy Meisner, and I'll talk again. I'm stepping ahead. I'm stepping past Hotel California and going to this album here, The Long Run, which is also part of this box set. Okay, it's a great album. It's one of my favorite albums by the band. This is not on. This is on Asylum again, a different label altogether, but it's on Asylum. But what a great album! So Randy Meisner, because he almost got stage fright, I guess, if you look at their documentary, he was afraid to sing some of these songs because he was afraid his voice would crack. And again, there was arguments between the band. The band was famous for their arguments. Glenn Frey and Don Felder would argue back and forth. They were just like battle royale between the two on stage. So Randy Meisner was eventually replaced. Was eventually replaced by bassist Timothy B. Schmidt. Amazing singer, bassist. He was also part of the band Poco, and he was featured on their last album in 1979, the last studio album of the band proper, and it would be like 15, 20 years before they would reunite again, I think in Hell Freezes Over, which I've yet to get. I want to get the video. It's a great concert. It's a beautiful concert. And so he was featured on this amazing album, The Long Run. And big hit, Heartache Tonight is on there. The Long Run, of course, and the ballad, I Can't Tell Her Why, sung by Timothy B. Schmidt. The band members encouraged people to bring ideas of songs, so he brought this idea to Glenn Frey and Don Henley, and he was afraid that they may not accept it, and Don Henley said, hey, that's a #1 hit, and which it became to be. So it's kind of cool that he was accepted so well into the band. And but then as he joined, all these arguments were happening, and he said, what the hell did I do? So anyway, so let's get back to the album that we want to talk about here. This is Hotel California, probably the most commercially successful album by the band, and of course one of my favorites, as well as the long. Well, I love them all. So released in '76, huge success in North America. Sold 26 million copies, ranked third of all time in sales, and 42 million copies worldwide. So no slouch of an album. Two big singles, New Kid in Town and Hotel California. As I did a albums to discover series on Led Zeppelin 2, and was mentioning Led Zeppelin 4 and Stairway to Heaven. To me, Hotel California, the song, is the Eagles' Stairway to Heaven. There's so many big hits that everyone refers to as their Stairway to Heaven. So, Elton John, Funeral for a Friend, epic song type of thing. And that's what Hotel California is. It just starts off and builds and builds and builds. Of course, they're first to feature Joe Walsh, who replaced Bernie Leadon, as I said, and also the last album to feature Randy Meisner. And it had a Beverly Hills theme to it, California theme to it. This is the Beverly Hills Hotel, featured on the cover. They'd win a Grammy, sorry, for Record of the Year, and for the single "New Kid in Town." And again, somewhat of a concept album with a California theme. With Joe Walsh now as a member, it added a harder, rockier edge to their sound. Life in the Fast Lane, Victim of Love, gave it a harder edge. Of course, he was half of that amazing solo in Hotel California with Don Felder. The two of them together, almost competing against each other in the solo, and it just made it that extra. It just gave it that extra harder edge to it, and again, one of the most iconic solos in music history, as well as "Stairway to Heaven" from Jimmy Page, that type of thing. But what a great album, and it's just amazing from start to finish. You got Hotel California right off the bat. Again, unlike Stairway to Heaven that kind of ended the album, this right off the bat starts off the album. Then you got New Kid in Town, Life in the Fast Lane, Wasted Time, and then you got Victim of Love, Pretty Maids All in a Row, Try and Love Again, and The Last Resort. And these aren't little 2 or 3 minute songs. Some of them, like Hotel California, 6 minutes and 30 seconds. Wasted Time, almost 5 minutes. Try and Love Again, 5 minutes. The Last Resort, over 7 minutes long. So great album. Definitely an album to discover. If you don't know the Eagles, again, check out this great box set. It's got all of their studio albums in here. And if you didn't want to go for the box set, definitely go for the Greatest Hits album. Gives you everything they need for early Eagles. And yeah, there you go. So let's see what's on. Where's my phone? Let's see what's on the list for next album to discover. So I go to Discogs. Again, so there's my albums. We'll go up here to Random Item. Billy Joel, Glass Houses. There you go. Another great album, another great performer, Mr. Billy Joel. So thank you so much. Have yourself a wonderful day, guys. And we'll talk to you again soon. Take care. Bye now.